This is a Nemo Forte 20 sleeping bag. It's advertised as a spoon-shaped sleeping bag. Why did we pick it and why you might like it? How did this come to be? We won the lottery this year and scored backcountry camping permits for Mount Rainier. My current sleeping bag wasn't gonna cut it. This bag has a lot of really cool features, but I think the one that most people wanna see is its shape and its size. So let me compare it with some of the other sleeping bags we have. This right here is the Teton XXL. It's like the biggest sleeping bag we have. It's a car camping sleeping bag. I think it's 8 pounds. So let's compare that to the Nemo. As we can see, so this is the long version, and as you can see, it's about the same length, but it's actually quite a bit narrower. If we lay an actual mummy bag on top of this, you will quickly see how much room you actually are getting. So between the super car camping bag, and it's kind of like in the middle versus this super narrow mummy bag. The Forte is a synthetic bag. They make a down version as well. This one is the Forte 20, which is rated for comfort of 32 degrees. The limit says 22 degrees, but it also has an extreme of -8. With this being a backpacking sleeping bag, weight is pretty important. It's definitely going to be heavier than the down bag, but it is what it is. And this guy is 3 pounds, 2 ounces, and this is the long version. Interesting to know that we just ordered a bag for Kelly, and hers ends up being 3 pounds, 9 ounces. So they end up putting 7 ounces more fill in the women's version. Let's go over some of the features that make this bag unique. These are the Thermo Gills. You can see the heat coming out of there. On each part of the bag on the front, there's these 2 zippers. And basically it opens up and basically spreads open the insulation, and so it lets some of the heat out. So these are pretty cool. The only downfall with these is the zippers have a tendency to want to get stuck in the fabric. So when you do zip it up, if you just stick your finger underneath it when you're going and pull it, it seems to help. The main zipper has some nice features too. It has a little guard here, so when your face is right here, you don't get a face full of zipper. If you look at the zipper itself, it's got this black guard over it, and it actually makes it so it doesn't bunch up to try and pull in material, and it's got big zipper pulls on it, so it actually travels super easy. I'd say 1 out of 10 it gets stuck, where my other bag, it's pretty much a 95% chance it gets stuck. On here, you've got an outside pocket. I put the water filter so it doesn't freeze, and EpiPen so it doesn't freeze. It's not supposed to freeze either. So that worked pretty well. It'd be nice if there was a pocket right inside that you could put these items in there. After sleeping in this for a couple nights, there's 2 features that I really like, and this is one of them right here. And there's an extra flap on this thing right at the top, and they call it a blanket fold. And what it does is when you're tucked in here, this comes right up close to your neck, but then this folds down and can sit and basically blocks all that extra air that can get in there. And it actually makes a huge difference. The bag has a really nice big hood, and it's got some shock cord running through the top here, and then there is a toggle that you can pull, cinches down your hood. This leads into my second most favorite feature, this little pocket here. And this is a pocket for your pillow. And if you don't camp with a pillow, you can just shove your jacket in here. Or if you have a Nemo pillow or any other camp pillow, you can put that in there. For this one, you have to put it in when it's not inflated. You can see now we have a nice pillow in your hood, and it's not going anywhere. One thing I forgot to show you on the zipper. This worked really, really well. There's a big, not bulky, but very puffy draft tube that goes along the entire length of the zipper. So when this thing is closed, this tube blocks the zipper so there's no drafts coming in. The outside of the bag is made of a 30D ripstop polyester with a DWR finish on it. It's pretty soft, but if you flip it on the inside, this is made of a 20D nylon taffeta, and it actually is, it's very silky feeling and nice and soft. If you flip and look at the bottom, they advertise the bottom as having a waterproof Footbox, and this is so if this is resting up against the end of your tent and water shouldn't come in. We don't see any other seams, so it must just be this bottom panel right here. One other thing we forgot to mention is this bag zips on the left side. I would actually prefer it to zip on the right side as I sleep on my right side, But the women's version zips on the right side, and you guessed it, they can be zipped together. I'm not sure why you would want to zip two mummy bags together, but it's an option. Before I get in and show you how it fits, one thing to keep in mind is how wide the bag is. So this is the Nemo switchback, and it is 20 inches wide. And you can see here that the hood fits on it nicely, but the edge folds over some. So keep that in mind. If you're going with an inflatable pad, I'd definitely go with the 25-inch pad. If you're looking at these bags, keep in mind that the men's version and the women's version, even though they're both longs or both shorts, they're actually different sizes. So when it comes to storage, Nemo gives you a large mesh storage bag, which I'll show you about that. And they also include a regular stuff sack, but it is also a compression sack. And this is actually the key. I was really worried that this thing would be too huge and it wouldn't fit in my backpack. But let me show you the storage bag and how nice and fluffy it stays. So there you go. The compression sack is a little hard to do, but it at least gets the synthetic insulation scrunched down where it's not taking up your entire bag. And I will admit that this is the trickiest part of this whole bag. Just getting it into the bag. As you can see, that was a struggle. But you can see how big it is now. But as far as an oversized mummy bag, I think that is pretty small. I hope you found this video helpful. We will put links to this bag and the women's version down in the description below. Go watch this video next. You can find us at exploretrekadventure.com, and we'll see you next time.
And if I get too cold, up comes Blinky.